Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Jerks Podcast. My name is Mark Karski, your host with my co-host Dylan Mahler and Dan McCarty. We're here with Stephanie Robertson. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you can nail that.
Hell yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a difficult name.
Names are hard when you're on the
Son
spot.
of Robert.
Okay?
It's hard to figure out.
Son of a Bob.
That's okay, though. You did say Robertson. Most people say Robinson. So
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
so it does get fucked up.
It does get fucked up a lot,
That's
actually.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one that we
Yeah.
as a society should get down.
Yeah.
Wait, like they read it and still say it wrong?
Yes, they put an I in it. There's no I. There's no I in Robertson.
Just you.
Anyway.
There is a team.
Yeah.
There is a team, but there is a whole team in me. Yeah, that's for sure.
So, Kill Tony.
Yeah,
How is it?
how about it?
Let's
right?
get to it.
I'm like, what could they possibly want to talk to me about?
No, that's
Something we thought we'd bring up.
Yeah.
she said in her story, she was like, what are we going to... I know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I was like, guess what we'll be talking about tonight?
thank you.
What do you want to
get
know?
to that.
Ask me anything. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, like, was it like a random drawing? Are they all, or did you know you were gonna go?
No, if I did what I did and I knew that I was going up, I would have actually killed myself. I had no idea, and that was the problem
Because
because
it came out so quick. I was like, oh shit. But are you just like
because-
waiting back there? Like,
Yeah, I don't know how they pick. I don't know how they pick. I don't
Right.
know if Tony truly picked me or if they pick in a separate bucket backstage and then they just tell Tony this is the name we picked, right?
Ah, okay.
Because, Red Band's got his computer open. Who knows if they're just messaging them the names, right? You don't,
Yeah.
who knows? I don't know. I wish I did. Oh, boy, I wish I did. And,
They probably don't want you to know, like, even for 100% if you're going to be on, because then you'd be acting weird, I feel like.
yeah, it would be, yeah. And then so that's what the problem was is I was with Olivia, a friend from Chicago and now lives in New York. I was there with her in Austin. She got called first. So, and she came back and was telling me she had a great set. And I was like, oh, amazing. The night's over. Like, she's the one who got on, right? Like, out of the two of us, it was her time. It was her moment. So it's over.
You were like, there's no way.
There's
both
no
of us.
way we're both getting on.
See, but if I went there, I would be like, I'm 100% getting on this list. I'm 100% going on.
I thought, yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
will. And then when she got on, I go, there's just like the chances. And then she had such a like successful set. And, we were like celebrating her after for a whole 2 hours because I got called 2 hours later.
Oh,
so
wow.
Damn.
so at that point, my brain was shut off. Like, I was not in like comedy mode at all. I was just like, I'm not going up tonight. I literally wore an outfit thinking I'm like, well, I'm not getting on stage tonight at all. I'm just gonna like be hanging around. So I went up just off, obviously completely off. I also had maybe done some recreational drugs in between. And I
It
didn't
was
want
2 hours.
Well,
I mean,
it was
after
2
the
hours.
celebration.
You're waiting around,
Which
and
one
now
so I know not
we're
to do them?
celebrating.
Yeah,
Yeah, and because we're
cool.
celebrating Olivia, and we're done. So I'm done. I'm not. And then we're down in this like separate area where they hold you, but even further down in this like outside where you can smoke area. And I hadn't heard a name be called since like a few comics back. So I go, oh, they're probably done. Like, let's go. So we were like walking out of the door.
Whoa.
Like we were on our way out and my name got called. And I was like, no.
That's like the worst. That's the worst case scenario.
Everything, I'm
'Cause
telling you, everything
your
that could
mind
have.
is like, we're leaving right now.
Yeah,
can't
my mind,
imagine
I'm like, we're going to bed. Like the night was over. We were heading home.
Yeah.
And so I get called and I just panicked. I just completely panicked. And I was waiting behind the curtain. Pacing. I was pacing. I literally couldn't breathe. And so I got out and I was like, okay, fuck it. Like what, like, and then they also take your phone before you wait behind the curtain.
So you can't look at your notes and
You're
stuff.
not looking at your notes. You're not able to text anyone for reassurance of like, should I do this joke? Should I not do? Because honestly, like, we hadn't talked about it then.
Yeah.
Like, it was over in our heads. Like, we were just talking about her, and then I was like telling her about how big Kill Tony is. I'm like, 1 million people are gonna see you. It's gonna be so great for you. Because she didn't know the scale of the show. She did not. So also Olivia went in with just like, oh, it's just kind of like this random bucket draw, and I'm gonna do a set, and it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's a huge deal.
It's
Olivia.
Shubas. What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. Though I was like, yeah. She got off stage and she goes, I didn't realize how many people were gonna be out there. She's like, there were a lot of people, And I was
Wait
like,
till you
it's a
see it
sold
online.
out show and I'm like, and
Wait to see how
now
many people saw it live.
millions of people will see you, Olivia. This is so great for you.
It's probably best to not know how big it is going in. Like, I would rather not
I know. I told her, I was
Because
like,
the pressure is
she
so
had an
high.
advantage. She's a great comic regardless, but she definitely had that mental advantage of just being like, I'm just telling a story. Like, I'm just doing my set. Like, no big deal.
Freaking out.
I was.
I'd be like,
Did
this
she
is
really
my shot.
I
really
was.
didn't know?
And then the minute I fucked up, I was like, get me off stage because I know everyone's gonna see this.
Did you just take your like? Did you just go like to your bet, like your minute you use for like your closer? Like, how did you?
No,
choose?
no.
'Cause that's what I would have done. Just use the one I used to end my set with.
No, the one I used to end my set is
More than a minute.
yeah, and it's not good. It's not like right. It's supposed to be your best joke, but I don't think it was right for that minute. The one I chose was definitely not right for that minute. I don't have like what I think is a strong enough minute to even do I truly like. We signed up also because she got on the comedy Mothership Open Mic, so I was able to also so did I the night before. And I did a set in 3 minutes and was able to tell the first joke in a minute. So I was like, okay, I know that's a minute. It's not my best minute, but I know that's a minute. And then I just did it I didn't do it right. I didn't deliver it right for that minute on Kill Tony, whatever. So she's on the Comedy Mothership Open Mic that night. And so anyone who's on the mic gets put in a separate, not a separate list, but a separate line. So you don't have to go to the alleyway to wait. You get just like a kind of a fast pass to the front of the line. And so I literally asked the comic, I was like, should I sign up? I don't know. I don't think I should. And then he's like, yeah, why not? You're in Texas. Like, it won't hurt. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It won't hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not?
Little did I know that it would destroy me. Destroy the rest of the week out there and all of my confidence and
But you need to go
everyone
back
that
at
hates
least.
me and thinks I'm bad now has a reason to, you know? They have like evidence. They're like, no, she isn't good. Look at this. Watch this. So that sucked. That, yeah.
Well,
But you
it
get
did.
to go back at least. No
Yeah,
matter
it
what.
did seem like it went like so bad that it became good.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
it did feel like through the
It
interview,
was like a real
it started
American
like
Got Idol or American Idol moment.
like after the
Like
initial oh fuck, like
Yeah.
near the end, you started kind of having fun with it and realizing.
Cause he wouldn't let me off stage. I had no choice. He kept me. My whole
like-
You
thing.
seemed like you were done with
I
the
was so
conversation.
because I
was
fucked
just-
up, Tony. Leave me alone. Like I know I fucked up. I'm expressing I fucked up, and he goes, yeah, but I'm the host, and that's why I'm gonna keep you on here and fucking make you sweat. And I was just like, okay, so that's And
I would be sweating a lot.
dude, my shirt.
I
was
sweat a
soaked.
lot when I do well.
I know. There's nothing like Kill Tony flop sweat. There's nothing like it.
But,
And for
like,
the rest of the week, I
It's
was sweating.
So dope that like he said you could come back.
It is
Yeah.
dope.
I was so
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I was like,
I know.
Oh, is that? I was like, should I do bad?
I know. Well, I know. And then people are like conspiring about why he wants me back. And
I watched
feel
it
like
on
he had to have
stream, and
seen
all of the
something.
people, all the
Oh,
women
yeah.
were like, "Oh, she's sucking Tony's cock. What's
right,
going on
right,
here?"
right. Yeah. Oh,
I
he's
was like,
gonna.
I don't think so. He's gay.
Yeah, right, right.
You've
yeah.
never seen that though. I've never seen someone get like an automatic comeback. You can get
No, I
on
have.
for sure.
I have
Was
a
it-
bunch actually.
A
Okay,
bunch.
I've never
It
seen
happens
Well, not like
often.
a bunch, but like to people like
It's 'cause he
I-
sees
like
something.
I was gonna say he probably does see something, and like when I was
Yeah.
telling people, because I was watching it live, and I was like, guys, this is way harder than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just easier because it's shorter. Like it's harder because it's
No,
shorter.
it is because you can't do any like crowd. You can't open them up. You can't do anything. You just have to tell
can't
a fucking
establish yourself
joke.
at all.
You can't do anything. So, and I learned that the hard way.
Like watching it did make me think.
Yeah,
Well, how long have you been doing stand up?
2 years.
Same.
I'm hitting 3 in February.
Oh, nice. So like I'm about 2 years in, and I was like, maybe I wouldn't do good. Like I thought I would, but then I was like, that made me kind of go, I don't know if I.
Mm-hmm.
My Uno sucking dick joke, if you know.
It's pretty.
I don't know. I know
Yeah.
it's
It's
easy
fire.
to crack under pressure. I once did an open mic in Bartlett, and it was at the Bartlett Center of the Arts.
You're gonna relate to this.
And it was-
Yeah,
Sony.
it's just-
This
It
is what
was-
everyone's been doing though with me. They're like, but I've bombed. I'm like, not on a million.
You're right. I'm gonna
viewer.
cut that
no,
story
go
off.
ahead.
No.
No, I would like to know. It does make me. It's nice. You know,
It
we can
was,
all relate. But
Dan sweat a lot at SNF. He said so. It's the same thing.
But it was this little old lady who worked for like the community, and she was like, "We're throwing an open mic," and she told him, she's like, "My favorite joke," and it was about like some guy at a gas station she heard on like Johnny Carson, right? And then my parents came, And it was the first time my mom had seen me doing stand-up. And then we waited, and it was just the 4 of us. So then they were like, do some stand-up.
No.
And I was like, I'll do 5 minutes, and we'll be like, hey, okay, And I got a lot of silly shit, but for whatever reason, I went dark.
Yeah.
And I told a cum joke about
Yeah.
my mom, and she was like, that was...
Nice.
No.
That was the worst,
See,
worst thing I've ever seen,
I
Dan.
think
She was
that-
like, "I'm sorry I brought you there."
I think that's relatable.
That's
to
what
every-
Olivia said to me
I
about
think-
Austin.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think everybody could, every comedian can relate to that Dan story, but not Stephanie's story.
Yeah.
Like, what were you
Fuck all
thinking?
you. I beat all you guys.
Like,
You win.
like
you win.
middle way through your set, what were you thinking?
That I've humiliated myself in front of a million people. And then even Tony was like, do you even know this show? Have you? And I'm like, yes, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because I know the consequences I'm about to face. And I'm I'm spiraling in my head. Which actually, that was the only comment on like online on the live feed. And then like, oh, I dug into Reddit too. I was like, just fucking hit me with it. And
People were bringing you up instantly. They were like, "Did you see this girl?"
I know, it
killed
was the
someone?"
worst. And on Reddit, though, people kept saying I was smug. And I was like, I was fighting for that was the most humbled I've ever been. Like, I was just trying to survive. And so for people to be like, she was smug up there, she thought she was so funny. I was like, no, I was just trying to get through it. Like, there was no part of me being smug.
Publicly dying.
If I was smug, I would have been riffing back with them. I would have been confident. Like, I would have been like actually myself.
Like at a point, like wasn't he? He was kind of like being a dick where he was like explaining jokes.
He mansplained. I never say mansplained. I
Well,
never
like,
say he mansplained
even
how
when I
to
was
write
watching that,
a
I was
joke.
like,
That's why I asked him, because he was like ripping on me, and I'm like, okay, well then tell me what you think would have been better. Like tell me how to write that joke then. And he gave me some pointers, but some of his pointers I was like, but that doesn't work like with what I was saying in the joke, because I didn't even get to really tell it, so it was just like whatever.
I remember
But-
thinking yeah, he's mansplaining like comedy too much right now, but then
yeah, that did
I
make
don't
me
know.
go.
I think the smug thing was almost when you said like I've never practiced a minute, but then it was like if you
Yeah.
had said like I didn't think I would go up or whatever.
Well,
like,
he was like, people say that all the time, and then I didn't want to get it. I also on stage did not want to bring up anybody I knew to associate to me, because I was like, I'm so embarrassed for myself. I don't want them to be like, oh, Olivia Carter's best friends with Stephanie Robertson. Ugh, she sucks. So like, I was just like, don't bring up anything. Don't bring up why. Don't
No,
bring up the fact that you thought the show was over. So I just go, I was unprepared.
But that was
like
like
a fucking idiot.
handling it well, because I also noticed it's like they gave you an opportunity to plug at one point, and then you like didn't say like you said you're from Chicago, but you didn't like mention like where or anything.
Yeah, and then they're like, "What do you
I
do
was
for
like, that
work?"
is-
And I didn't mention the venue I work at, because I was like, "No, I don't want to associate anybody to myself right now, because I suck." I'm like, this is awful. Like no one. I literally was like, I called some of my close friends in the scene. I was like, "You guys aren't gonna know me when I get back. Like you're not gonna want to talk to me. I'm not gonna be booked on any shows anymore. Like this is awful."
No, but that was still a
Our
sacrifice.
friendship
I
is
feel like.
over. I'm sorry.
Right, though. It's because it's like everyone can see that. And so I was, and that was what was going through my head on stage. Not be funny, not be yourself. It was, I'm devastated. Like I have ruined my life.
No, but
God,
that's
I
sick
would
that
say-
you get to go back. at least.
I'd rather bomb on there than not be on there.
And then you get more like I remember.
I did
like,
gain over 1,000 followers.
Really?
There you go.
Holy fuck.
You know what? Fuck you, dude. Okay. Now let's be mean. Although that's not good.
Dude.
I've been
That's
losing.
sick.
fun.
The actual like, hold on, let me show you guys something really quick. The
Your
following.
DMs must be crazy.
I was gonna say my following is
couldn't
one
imagine.
thing, but my DMs is another.
The dudes
Oh my
must
God.
be. Hey, no, you didn't. No, it's okay. You
We
did some
can like
comedy
show
lessons.
that, but like
encouraging
ready,
DMs?
guys.
No, we'll put them on screen.
What do they
Send them to
As
me.
soon
Read a
as
couple blips.
I'm gonna scroll until my phone doesn't let me anymore.
Hey, Stephanie, I've been doing comedy for 2 months. You want to write together?
No, exactly. They're like,
Khalil's
Right.
like, I'm doing I can teach you in my room.
I got you on this
they're
venue.
like, come to Vancouver. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna come to Vancouver for you.
Wait,
like,
That's wild.
Wait,
though.
we
It's
should.
honestly
you
maybe you
should
did this as a
let
publicity
us take
stunt.
those spots. Be like, yeah, I'll be
yeah.
there.
What's all the details?
And I'll
I
show up.
yeah,
I'm like, hi. No, I'm representing her.
yeah. That
We
would
can
be
still
so
do whatever you
amazing.
wanted to do to her, bro.
You guys, I'm
do
still
with me.
scrolling, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Like it doesn't end, and then I have
Well, now
even
you're
more
just
in my
showing
hidden
off.
messages.
Have you
Yeah,
even
but it's
opened them?
disgusting. It's like the
Wait,
last.
has there been any good ones? Like,
Oh,
any,
gosh.
any nice blue checks?
I think they're nice,
no,
right?
yes, but they're not real blue checks.
Well, no, still. I mean, you know.
They
Hey.
But like The
Light
Rock
blue.
didn't reach out or anything.
Yeah.
no one cool reached out.
Brendan Schaub didn't try and fuck you.
no one of real importance reached
I
out.
feel like you have an opportunity though. If you go back and you practice and stuff, it's like now you can make a bigger impact than
There it
anyone
is.
Yeah,
else.
but see, when she said when you said you didn't practice that minute, I was like, I wouldn't either.
Right though, because you're like I've done so
I
that
know
and
my
that was the
minute.
thing. Like before I had left for Texas, I had done like a handful of shows and they all went really well. So I was like, these jokes work
set
no
you
matter
up.
what, and then they didn't. So
No, that's exactly
a
what I
good
was thinking. I'm
sign.
like, oh, mine will not work now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm guaranteed to be like so.
Yeah, I
confident
was
with
truly
everything.
everybody's lesson learned. Everyone can look up to me and be like, "Well, don't do that," or don't come up too cocky and think you have something and you don't. And
But
that's
at least
that's what I'm battling right now because I'm like, okay, this is my new goal in comedy right now. This is like a short-term goal,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but what could I possibly say? Like, even if it's a good joke, is it a joke worth coming back? Is it a redeem myself level joke?
When when do you get to
Yeah.
go back?
He said come back in 6 months, and then the producer just texted me. He was like, I have the producer's number now. He's like, just let me know when you're back in
Hell
town.
yeah. So you got connections based on bombing,
guess, but it's not
basically.
like-
Are you like
That's sick.
actively trying to work out? Like to me, I would just passively be like, I will be better by that time.
No, I am now. If you ask me to do a show, I will be like, I can only do 7 minutes because I am resetting everything. I am not doing the jokes that you saw on Kill Tony anymore. Those are completely out of my set, which kind of fucks up the rest of my set because I had kind of like a storyline throughout. I had like a solid 10-minute storyline, and it's not I'm telling stories. I just have jokes that like all match each other.
I feel that.
And so now I don't. And now I've made rules about what I actually want to talk about, and I'm like limiting myself on some things and trying to explore
Yeah.
other things. So.
It's kind of a cool way to reset, you
It's-
know?
Yeah.
You're not
It's-
stuck doing the same 10 minutes for 5 years.
Right. Yeah. And it's the kick in the cunt that I needed. You know.
Everyone
is.
It's
one.
positive. It's
Creativity hits in strange ways,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like
No,
positive,
Jesus
though.
came to me in the form of Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, but I feel like
like,
comedy a lot of the time it's like humility versus confidence, and it's like you have to have a balance of both. So it's like now you can go back and you can
Yeah.
redeem yourself like that much.
And I will, because I will be prepared this time, and I will not do any drugs, and I will not
Well.
think I'm not getting on, because
Assume you're
I'm
not
there to
getting
get
up.
on, because I'm telling
know
them,
you're
hey,
getting
I'm
on.
getting up tonight. Yeah.
But that is an interesting like the strategy of when you go back. It's like, do you talk about last time you were there, like after?
That's the thing, right?
He'll bring it up.
He'll have right. I'm sure like his producer will be
be
like, okay,
tipped
this
off.
girl is back on tonight. I don't know if he'll remember. I have no idea.
Hopefully
He will.
not.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
He will.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Are you like worried about like because it can change your life? A great Kill Tony set.
Uh-huh.
So like, is the pressure like?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna quit comedy on stage right there. I was literally thinking that. I was like, should this just be the end for me? Like, should I just have a great set and then just be like, and this was the last one. So fuck you guys. You'll
This
never.
girl's like, you want to go on the road? You're like,
No, absolutely
That's
not.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. I think I'll just gain more followers and more creepy messages. So
Yeah.
I really think that's it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all
that's
that'll
the
happen.
path of a female comic,
Yeah,
right?
it
Those
is.
are both guaranteed for you.
That's all I
Especially
can
the latter, forever.
predict. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that's so sick that you get to go back and know that you'll get on. Like honestly, I haven't
Yeah,
gone there
I was
because it's
so
like
angry.
yeah.
I'll be
I was like,
angry.
oh.
I know. I'm like, will this like truly? I don't know how people feel about it. People will be like, come up to me and be like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, I'm all right. Like, I don't know what you're asking me right now, and like how you feel
Oh yeah,
about
how was
me
the
anymore.
effects, like mental effects after that?
I didn't eat for the entire week.
Was the plane ride home just like,
Yeah, dude,
Please,
I
9/11
cried.
again.
No,
Oh my God.
literally. I was like, crash me into the Sears Tower.
you almost did it. You
almost
I'm
got
taking
up.
over.
She's like, I love what?
you just start playing your set.
Yeah, I literally cried when I got back into Chicago. I was like, I'm home, and like I never should have left.
See, I would cry either way. If I did really well, I would cry. But if I did bad, I'd also cry.
Yeah.
On stage, though.
It is kind of fucked up though, because I feel like in Kill Tony, you have to have not just a good set. You have to be like a
Interview.
special person.
A good interview.
Yeah.
And or else no one cares. And that's what the fucked up thing about Kill Tony fans, that they are like, we're huge comedy fans. I'm like, but you're not really.
They want you to do bad.
They want you to do bad, or they want a show out of the show, which is fair. Like, that's why it's so popular. But like the good comics kind of get overlooked, or they just kind of go like, yeah, you had a good set, here's a joke book, fuck off, like that. And so it's just, it's such a crazy dynamic that show brings out in the comedy world.
It's just like pure chaos.
It
Did they
is.
say something about like we want people to bomb or something like that? Like I
He
thought
goes,
that
do
was
you guys like
part
when
of it.
comics do bad? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
comics do
want
good,
you
they're
to-
like,
and my DMs have confirmed that.
At least get a lot of support,
Yeah.
I guess. But it's like there are a lot of people that go up there and it's their first time doing comedy and stuff, and it's just like it is a weird situation where
Nobody should ever see your first. You know what's funny? Dan, you saw my first time doing comedy. Dan
I
was at
did.
my
Right.
first open mic ever, and you.
What was better, her minute or her first time?
It was a great set. It was a great first set.
It was my for a first set, and that's why I kept doing it, because I was like, well, that didn't. I memorized
Dan?
it, you know. And
Dan's
yeah,
the reason
well,
why.
Dan, he went up, I think, right after me, and then. He left a little bit after his set, and he goes, "Hey, great set," and he fist bumped me and walked out. And I go, "Oh."
And now you realize that's just everybody being nice.
Yeah, yeah,
They didn't even see your set. They're like,
yeah,
"Great."
yeah.
They got here after you.
No,
go
dude,
up.
Bob Keane saw my set too, and this is what he did. He was holding a beer, and he just went, "Eh." I was like, all right, that works for me too, I guess. But
Kill
yeah,
Bob.
Dan, you actually
Yeah.
saw my first set, and I didn't let anyone that I knew. I was like, you were not allowed, and I didn't even tell anybody.
Yeah.
So
You remember where it was?
yeah, it was at Stretch.
Stretch.
It was when Dwayne and Rory were hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the original Stretch.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
it's
long-
good times. I remember those post-pandemic mics
Yeah.
fondly.
Right. Me
I
too.
love the,
So
I love the shit in
definitely
the
do. Those were
parks
some of
and
my
on the
first
trucks
ones. Yeah.
and just in the empty bars.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
I would go watch the out in the open mics and the truck mic, the pickup mic.
I like that.
Comedy
and-
pickup.
Yeah. And I used to just go watch, and then I saw some people do it, and I go, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could at least do that. You
Yeah,
know?
that was my first time was at Shakers. I went to watch, and then at the end of it, I was watching. I was like, I can get up.
Right.
I
You can
go
get up because you think it's so scary, and then you see other people, and you're like, oh, it's not that big
Yeah,
of a
like
deal.
he just did terrible, and he left with a smile on his
Right.
face. Like,
I'm like, these people
All
are
right.
like now talking to people after this, so they're not humiliated.
They're not running away.
home. Yeah, because that's what I thought it would be like, but it wasn't. So I was like, well, then I can do it. And then so I just really memorized the hell out of that because they gave us 5
Yeah.
minutes. So I was like, I have to do 5 minutes.
yeah, you know what I was looking at the other day was Jackson Bark.
Yeah.
Dog park
Yeah,
shows.
dude, we did that show.
We
That
brought our
was
dogs to a
crazy.
dog park
Yeah.
and stood on a slide and
Yeah.
told comedy in like 100-degree heat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ridiculous
Sounds
idea.
terrible.
It was like
The smell of
it
hot
was
dog
cute
shit.
though. It was
It
like
was-
a cute,
yeah.
silly thing.
You
You
get to
you
play
did
with your
really
dogs and
well,
shit.
actually.
Well, I did a
You
solid
wrote
like
jokes.
5 minutes of dog
Yeah.
jokes.
You wrote dog
And
jokes.
then I brought out a book of dog
Yes.
jokes, and I
God.
read from the book
Yeah.
of dog jokes.
Yeah.
Half an hour.
And
Do
that's
that
So I
on Kill
was-
Tony.
right.
That was, I pull out my 101 dog jokes and just read
be
them one
funny.
by one for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, it'd be better than my set. So,
I'm
yeah.
a fan of if people do something different on Kill Tony. Bring out a dog joke. Did you get a joke book or no? No. Oh, what the
No, I got a redemption round.
Yeah, there you go.
That's way fucking
Yeah.
better.
I
dude.
know.
Way better than a book.
No.
I know.
At least
yeah.
you might get an extra 1,000 followers though.
Right.
Like you're guaranteed another 1,000.
Yeah, it's
Another
true.
200 dick pics
With like the worst.
from
Any
Khalil.
press, right?
Yeah.
Is that what people say?
What did you say?
Do people say any press is good press?
Yes, a lot of people said that to me too.
Yeah.
You argue with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would much rather bomb than not be on it. I'd be
No,
like,
but it
fuck
shows improvement if you go back and you do better.
I
like,
just
figure
bombed,
things
but
out.
it like my thing wasn't even a bomb. I just fucked up. That was the thing. So
the
it was just extra human.
Hmm.
It wasn't like, oh, she told a joke and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
No, I fucked up like
didn't
an
do it.
atomic bomb, dude. Like it was so bad. So it was just, I was like, I just humiliated myself.
When you were going, I was like telling the people when I was streaming, I was like, see, like typically you'd be able to like pivot, but it's only a minute. You can't just fucking be like, oh, you
Yeah.
guys don't like this. I'm
Right.
Gonna,
That's
you just
tough.
kind of
You're
got to stick
done.
with it. Yeah.
You're done. And then I also didn't know that they start timing you the minute you walk on stage.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you asked if you were done. I would have asked as well because the clock went down
The
to
clock
0.
was 0.
So I would have been like, oh, I missed it.
And it wasn't like a 3, 2, 1, 0. It was 0. So I go, oh, I have to shut the fuck up now.
I would have been the same way.
And then they were like, well, what the fuck were you telling? And I go, I don't know. I don't know what I just did.
Say?
Yeah.
The clock should be based off like red band timing or whatever.
Yeah,
it should be like just its own thing.
And they don't tell you that beforehand. So I was just like, okay. So I fucked up. I fucked up real good, and then I couldn't eat all week. I dry heaved when I got off stage. And
Jesus.
How long were you in Austin for?
a whole week after that.
The whole week you were
Dude,
still
I was yes.
Did you do any more mics?
Yeah, I was on shows.
You left your hotel room? That's crazy.
Dude, I was miserable.
Did they introduce you like she was just on Kill Tony?
I don't think people knew really.
Not
The
yet.
door
Because it
guys.
hadn't aired
The
yet,
door,
right?
it hadn't aired. The door guys knew from
Wait, it's not
Mothership.
live?
No,
I thought
you
it
don't
was.
get to watch it. Like
I
you
thought it
don't
was live for
like.
some reason.
Everyone was like, cause when I was watching it live on YouTube when it came out, I was like, Ryer was on this episode. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
everybody I know is on this episode. So I was like, God damn, you don't get to know anything.
Were you hanging out with Ryer in the back?
No,
At
there's
all?
no back.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's a huge room. There's a bar, and all you know is the names being called.
Yeah.
But also, Ryer is like a returning guest. Hold on. There's so many things happened that I was just so unaware of. Maybe Ryer's name was called.
Yeah.
But like I said, I thought like I wasn't in the room anymore because I was so like the show's over for me. I am not doing it. Olivia got up.
So it's just like a big
like
room and you're
Stephanie
just
got-
A
ominous.
big room.
It's
I
just
was
so ominous, just
I was
waiting
on
for
this
you.
lower level part of the room, which was kind of outside, so I couldn't hear names being called anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why Olivia and I were about to leave 2 hours later. We were like, well, we stopped hearing names being called. It's done. And I don't know if Ryer got called separately because Ryer does work for the Mothership and Ryer's been on Kill Tony before. So they're like, I don't know if she either got pulled or just kind of was like, hey, you're going up tonight.
Right.
You know, maybe one of the Mothership people get up tonight. I don't know, but I didn't know. and so I was like, damn it, and that was another thing when the episode came out. I was like, not just people will be watching for Olivia, but they will be watching for Ryer. And then they'll just be like, is Stephanie in this too? Because I didn't make an announcement on my page.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to know. I was like, the more people that don't know, the better. And but it's unavoidable.
Right.
Especially once one person sees it in the scene, they're gonna be like, did you fucking see this?
It was
People
it
who
moved
aren't
fast.
even in the scene were like, they just knew I was in Illinois, and they're like, "Do you know this girl?" I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yep.
Let's watch.
That's why I couldn't eat because I knew that was going. I was like, I'm gonna be memed. I'm gonna be clipped up. I'm gonna
Word
be talked
spreads
about.
quick, yeah.
I'm gonna be. And so I was just like, I really was just devastated. I was like, how embarrassing.
How do you
It's
view
just
it now?
funny.
Like, I see it as a positive in every way.
Well, that's what everyone, at least to my face, is telling me. It's a
Yeah.
positive.
Oh, I would tell you the
It's like
truth.
it's like a baby
Yeah,
step,
so I
like-
have to just kind of like take it on the chin and be like, all right, I guess it's not that bad, and I'm putting in work to redo my set, so it's like, fuck you guys, you know? Like,
Right.
so I don't
And
know.
also, it can't really get much worse than that.
Exactly.
That's
And that's
true.
another thing. I'm like, I'm not scared to bomb anymore
Yeah.
because
Back-
I just did it on like
The
million.
biggest
Yes.
show.
So like just like the biggest platform. So it's like, who cares
I'd be
anymore?
more confident. I'd be like,
Fuck you guys. You guys have all seen me
guys-
bomb.
you guys
Something
are
has
Tony
broken in
Hayes.
you. That's-
yeah.
That's what I've heard. If you do like bad
So-
on there, it's kind of like you got like the worst thing off your back.
it's like
so
freedom
You
almost.
go into everything
I
else with
know.
more
I'm
confidence.
fearless now.
Do you know if Olivia got 1,000 new followers?
Oh
from
yeah,
it?
yeah. She got a lot of followers. Definitely 1,000, or at least at a minimum 1,000. But she's also putting out. She has a great Instagram. She has a great Instagram. She's putting out clips every day. So if that wasn't gonna get her more of it, her clips would anyway.
That's
So.
another part of it is like being ready for like stuff like that. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not even ready to like promote the stuff that if I did well even or just capitalizing on it and stuff. But luckily, if you do bad, you don't have to worry about it really. You just kind of like
I would have capitalized on
don't
it.
say.
I would have posted it on my Instagram. I would have done everything. I've been like bombed on Kill Tony.
No, I've been doing like I've been sprinkling it. Like I put up like a meme about like redeeming myself, but it wasn't like super clear about what I was talking about. And then I like talked about how I was gaining Kill Tony followers, but it wasn't like why or what. So I'm not super like braggadocious on Instagram anyway. So
But if you had to guess, like,
Breadcrumbs.
do you think you'll
Breadcrumbs.
do like material that you've written already, or do you think you'll do something new, or or address
I'm
it
hoping
even in
I can
a
write
set.
something new. I'm
I
hoping
got-
I can
I
write
got
something
6
better
months
than
for a
I've
minute.
had. Yeah. So yeah. No, it's gonna be new. It's
You
definitely
don't
gonna
have
be
one
new.
that you're like working on right now so far.
I have ideas that I'm like, okay, maybe I'm like gonna juggle these ideas and see what starts to work. So
It'd be
yeah,
cool to like.
I
go
don't have
back.
anything. I don't have anything like set though. Yeah.
I don't know. Like it'd be cool if you went back into the like same joke that you started with. Or just,
Trust
like,
me,
the-
I've thought about it. I
and,
know.
like, rework
I've
the
really
entire
weighed
group.
all my options on this. I'm like,
Yeah.
do I tell it that
Relax.
those same jokes,
Well,
but
no, see, the
written better, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Say it the same
Condensed.
exact way.
yeah, right. I know. Just
That's
go
what I
up
was
and
thinking.
fucking like just
But he doesn't
throw
remember,
it.
and he's
Funny,
like,
though.
"What are you doing?" He's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I know. I've thought about all of it. I've talked to so many people about it because everyone wanted to know, and then
Yeah.
So I've had all kinds of conversations about what I'm gonna
Adam,
do.
how many followers did you get off of Instagram from bombing on Kill
Dude,
Tony?
I know. I saw Adam in the room. I was like, there can't be 2. There can't be 2 tonight in the room.
This is a big place for
You've been on it? A couple
Really?
times? How'd
Jared
they
was on a couple
Okay.
times?
good the first time and then damn. I hope that's how it works for me
it
in
will
opposite
pass.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what everyone's like. No one's gonna care in a few weeks. It'll be no big deal. And I'm like, but it's clearly is. We're still talking
like-
about it.
No,
and
it's
that's
like-
the problem because I was like, I got off stage and I was like, Olivia, you have to come down to the alley. And she came and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. I just like bombed, but they want me back. I don't know what just happened up there. Like I have no idea. And then I was getting messages from people who saw the show live, and they were like, you were so likable. And I was like, how do you bomb and still be likable? Like I was so confused. I was
Right.
like, she's like, but they want you back. I'm like, yeah, but I fucked up. I
No,
embarrassed
that's
myself. And Olivia was like, I don't understand what you're saying to me right now. I was like,
Honestly.
just fucking wait and see. And
Right.
so I was so confused. I was just like,
How many people bomb and then what percentage of them get another shot? Like guaranteed.
Very
like,
low. But like I
yeah.
watched it led me to watch a cringe compilation after
Mm-hmm.
watching you.
that's what I was like, I'm gonna be a part of cringe compilations. God damn.
You weren't in one yet.
Not yet.
You will be.
Oh, I know.
Imagine,
I
like,
literally,
being the
I was
first
like
one.
labeled as like the worst bomb on Kill Tony on Reddit.
That's
That's
pretty
an
cool.
accomplishment in itself, you know. That ain't nothing.
Can I use that as a credit?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. On your
They
posters.
were like worse than 9/11, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh no, I've done
like-
it. I've
Yeah,
really
when the
done it.
9/11 joke is worse than 9/11.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They did let you do that second 9/11 joke, which I think both premises are good for those jokes.
Premises, yeah, that's what
Well-
that's what I want.
That's-
Good
that's-
No, it's
premises,
not-
yeah.
it's-
But
it's
you're
fine,
right.
yeah.
No, it was just it was awful. It was so bad.
No, it was worse than 9/11.
They
for
do
you.
work though. I mean, those jokes like I'm not just like crazy for trying to tell them. They do
Right.
work
They've made people laugh in the past.
in the
They've-
past. The 4 shows that I was on before I went on Kill Tony, they worked.
Did
and
you
at
tell those
comedy and at
jokes?
Mothership.
On the shows that you did after Kill Tony? You're like, I'm going to bring it back.
No
it's going to work.
fucking way. I
Her brain
couldn't.
instantly wiped
My
it.
confidence
Just forgot.
my confidence was so shot that the rest of the week,
Yeah.
and I did not do well on any of the shows I was on. Also, Austin has like a different style of shows.
Yeah.
The way
How
they
so?
the way they produce them, the way they run them, it's not like Chicago, and there is no host in sight. On like I
It's
did
just-
like 8 or 6 shows, and there was one host on all of those shows.
Were these shows like pretty full? If they're doing so many shows a night, or you know what I mean? Like, was it pretty full venues? or
It's
they're
like
just
exactly
they're putting
what
a
you
show
see in
on
Chicago.
anywhere that they can.
Yeah,
What
it's
makes
like
them
exactly. It was
different?
like some were full, some weren't.
Yeah.
It's like anything here
Okay.
except for it was all shotgun style,
I
no
hate that
host,
so much.
and
So lazy.
Olivia and I took
No,
bullet for
that's-
most of the shows.
Yeah.
like-
Because they don't
what
want
were you
to
doing?
there.
710.
What makes the shows different aside from the shotgun?
Shotgun is such a lower
It's
level.
it's because out here in Chicago, I feel like if you run a room, you really care
Yeah.
about the room. You care about the quality of show, and you care about how your comics feel on that show.
Yeah.
Not the same in Austin.
They're just
They don't care. They're truly running the room so they get time,
Just
which
get
is
up there.
fair. And that's I get that strategy because it can make you a better comic, but they don't care and they will not take bullet for their own show. That's controversial that I'm saying that as an absolute like generalization, but that's what I experienced.
Yeah.
So there was only one show that had a host that I was on.
That's
and it was a
wild.
great show. It was a great show.
It's crazy
It's a good
just to
one.
not give somebody the opportunity to host.
Yeah,
can't
like if you're
imagine
not
that.
going to do it yourself,
They don't
like,
want to host
hey,
because they consider it taking bullet and they don't want to risk having a bad set.
Wow. Even on their little baby show. That's
Yeah.
wild. I
It would
can't
be like if
imagine
I ran the Vixen and headlined it every week.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys hate me? Like, wouldn't I be the most hated person in the scene?
No.
But
Well,
that's what they
Wait,
do
don't
out
a
there.
lot of people do that though?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, but yeah, I
But
If they're not running the Vixen, the
but
Vixen
I
has
just
how
care
many-
more about like having a good show than I do about having I don't know, a
you,
headlining set
yeah.
at my own show.
Right.
I feel like that means nothing.
so
Yeah,
they're like, you get
comparatively.
7
Yeah.
minutes, and then I'm going to do 15 to
Yes.
close it out.
Yes. Hey, everybody, drive up from over an hour to the city so you can watch me headline every
Do you
single
guys do
week.
5 and give me 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
humility and confidence thing, but if you're not willing to host your own show, that just shows you're too much on the other side.
That's why I was blown away by that
Yeah. I can't believe
culture
there are
out
shows
there.
like
Yeah.
It's a
that.
culture. And so like if, they hear me, they'll be like, "Well, fuck you don't know what you're talking about. That's why you're a bad comic. You're not on stage enough, But I don't care. I care more about it. And
Yeah.
plus, and the Vixen's a different thing. They gave me a venue, and so I really want to put on a good show.
Yeah,
I want
right.
and I want to give people coming up from the city time.
How's that going? Because
The Vixen?
The Vixen's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vixen, it's going well. I mean, we get at least 50 people to come out every
Yeah.
Wednesday at
That's dope.
minimum. Average is like 80, I would
The
say.
Vixen and
Awesome.
McHenry, right?
Vixen and McHenry, yes, come on out.
When's your show? Yeah, when is it?
Wednesday, every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
The Vixen-
January 10th. January 10th at the Vixen. I'll be there.
Nanny Boy
come
is
see
coming
me
to
and Stephanie at the
town.
Vixen.
Yes, he is.
You should tell her jokes from Kill Tony.
Yes.
Dude.
I'll just redo your set. Beautiful.
I think that would be a great way to land this airplane. Heard she just shouted her shit out. We only
Yeah.
got
Good
5
fun.
minutes left
Oh,
before
yeah.
we start this.
There we go.
But
fuck
also,
yeah.
like, give them your, your Instagram.
My Instagram, it's just my name with 3 underscores in between my first and last
What Kill
name.
Tony number was it?
What episode?
Yeah.
That's up to her if she
I
wants
think
to
it was like
disclose it.
693 or
Well, if she
something
doesn't,
like
just,
that.
I mean, I'm just gonna look it up and.
Yeah, put it up there. I don't know. I think it was like it's the one with Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
The most recent one
Recent.
with Tim Dillon.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
we're gonna put him in the title of this.
But honestly,
70 bombs in front of
Stephanie,
is
yeah,
worth-
Tim
Robson
Dillon.
bombs on Kill Tony with Tim Dillon. Turks podcast. I'm
We're
seriously
making a
doing
lot
that.
on this
Go
one,
ahead.
Stephanie.
I don't care.
No,
That's
we're
fine.
like, this one's gonna get 300 views.
You know what is
We're finally
crazy?
gonna
My
break it.
stories have now reached like over 800 viewers. Like
I
just
would-
Oh, wow.
stories
Yo,
alone.
lean into
Is
it.
it-
I know,
Yeah. No,
I
seriously.
know. I'm
It's a
so
win.
bad about
Do you
shit
have a
like
YouTube
that,
channel?
though. No, I don't have a YouTube.
Well, this is
I know.
what
I was
you
like,
should-
I should make a reaction video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
great.
doing
That would be
it.
great.
I'm reacting to you on the internet.
that would pop.
I've done it. You should do it.
I
That'd be
know.
hilarious.
I know. I'm thinking of things.
That's why I mean,
I needed a minute
Capitalize.
to process all
Yeah.
of it, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm just gonna sit in it and think about, and then see how other people react to me.
See, that would be
and
great
what should I do.
because you're gonna be
Yeah.
on again. And I have
Uh-huh.
another thing to react to, dude.
You're right.
It's true.
I know, I
Lay
know.
the base. Lay the foundation now. In
God.
6 months, you'll be ready to rock and roll.
You're right.
It's only up from here, guys.
Thanks,
Seriously,
guys.
go to
Stephanie
the
Robertson,
Vixen.
she's got
Appreciate ya.
this.
Go to the
Thanks for
Vixen,
watching. Thank you,
folks.
live audience. We have one, I
Thank you,
promise.
Stephanie.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.